Welcome, everyone. It is Thursday night, Just a Bit Outside radio show live on the air. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Share that link, share that love, and I think it's going to be a great show tonight. Definitely a lot more energy than last week. You got Mark, you got Keisha. Keisha, how's it going?
What's going on, Outsiders? Major Keisha in the building on the airwaves and coming through your laptop, phone, whatever the hell you're listening to right now. But yeah, much better energy than last week. I'm not gonna say I'm fully healed. I don't think you are either. But
No.
we got some good stuff going down, and we got a big game going down this weekend. So we got plenty of stuff to talk about, you guys. And let's get it going. Since you're talking about the energy between last week and this week, I feel compelled to say, I was at this party on Saturday, birthday party for my boy Brian. Happy birthday, B. Love you, bro. And we were just talking about the Ravens and how everybody was feeling. We were by this time we were pretty much into our beer mugs and our shot glasses and everything, and feeling all emotional. And I realized something on Saturday that is still true today, Mark.
Okay.
I have not watched ESPN, Fox Sports, NFL Network. I have not watched any sports programming. I still have not.
I was thinking that earlier, and I was thinking, do I even mention that? Because that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's not though. It's. I think that we are still indirectly mourning or protesting. I don't even know what it is, and it's not like the Ravens aren't still relevant, because we are still being talked about, especially with the NFL honors going down this evening, which we'll talk about in more depth in a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're still relevant, and people are still talking about Lamar. They're still talking about our coaching staff, but it's just like, why do you think that is? Why have you been avoiding sports programming ever since the loss?
I really can't put my finger on it. It's just like,
isn't it crazy?
like you said, it's still like you're mourning the season. I mean, the Ravens season in particular, because we were so close.
Yeah.
And it's a little less painful now than it was then, but it's still there. And I think one big thing for me too is that kind of like the Lakers are sucking so bad.
Oh, Christ Almighty!
Whenever I get a notification about stuff going on with them, I'm like, I don't really care. I don't. I don't go out of my way to watch their games. I couldn't give a shit less.
Right. No, I can totally dig it, and how much I love to go off about the Lakers. Because I am a Laker fan. It's like I am numb to everything.
Yeah. I
am numb to everything. Last week we got fantastic news for our upcoming baseball season with new new ownership for the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
And then, right after the show, I'm gonna pat myself on the back with this one. But, last week we talked about the Orioles, the new ownership, what it meant, what direction we were going in. And, I made a comment about the pitching with the Orioles. And,
Yes.
My little wish list item for the new ownership would be to, tighten up that pitching game.
Yep.
Right? And right after, it seemed like, I think maybe like 30 to 45 minutes after our show, they dropped It was the big thing dropping on the socials and everything that the Baltimore Orioles had acquired Corbin Burns, who was like NL Cy Young Award winner like 2-3 years ago from the Milwaukee Brewers. Big freaking deal, big arm. Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. Wish list item checked. And honestly, I was excited, but I feel like I could have brought a little bit more energy with hearing that news. And I'm just in this sports funk right now, dog.
Yeah.
Like it is like hovering over everything. And I would have jumped all over social media, and I think I did make one little post on my personal account, but it's just like I don't even know. Like we have a social media page. Check that joint out. What is it, JABO Baltimore?
Which one?
On Instagram. On Instagram.
Yeah, I think it's JABO Baltimore.
All right, check us out on Instagram, and we're also on Facebook. We cut up and we joke around a lot on the socials, but the energy just has not been there. I have been trying to snap myself out of it, but I don't know. I just feel like this particular loss in the postseason has hurt me more than many.
Yes.
And it's just off of the strength. Everybody knows us, Mark. Everybody knows that the one thing that we love, the only thing the one thing that I love as much as I love pizza is freaking sports. Talking about sports, analyzing, keeping up with the news and the goings-ons, and I just not have been able to do that. There was a player for the Dallas Cowboys that I can't remember his name right now, but he made the comment that they asked him about the season and the way that everything ended, and they said that the Cowboys are burnt out, and I just feel like I feel like that was an unacceptable excuse for him, but an acceptable excuse for me. I just felt burnt out after that one. Like I just have nothing left to give to sports after the Ravens lost.
Yeah, and I mean, especially for me, like football is like the number one sport for me. Like,
yeah,
that's the one that I'm going to be ride or die every single week. NBA, I won't catch it every single night. I'll catch it a couple times a week maybe. But like football, and we had that huge emotional playoff run.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great that you mentioned it in a way, because like now we all realize we're not alone in that feeling.
Yes, and looks like we have some comments on the feed as well, with people who are echoing our opinion. We got the professor on the feed. What's up, Harry? Always good to hear from you, brother. He says, I was good until the end of the season presser. Eric DaCosta made me feel better, and then John Harbaugh pissed me off even more. We have another comment that says, I'm still in mourning and protesting the Super Bowl. Outside of that, if there are other people out there protesting the Super Bowl, please put it up. I'd like to know how many people are still pissed off and still in their feelings and refuse to watch the Taylor Swift versus 49ers show. Because there's a population of those people out there.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
There's a population of those people out there. And, if you are protesting the Super Bowl, and if you are in the 410, I actually came up with a little list of things to do if you're protesting the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you just a few. And if you happen to think of something while I'm talking, please chime in, dog. First things first, we are in the age of streaming, and we are in the age of binging. Catch up on your favorite show. We spent a lot of time over the past couple of months in holidays watching holiday specials, watching football, college football playoffs, NFL playoffs, We're getting in the thick of it. Things are heating up with college sports, college basketball, women's college basketball. Shout out to LSU, South Carolina. Catch up on your favorite show. There's been probably a few shows of yours that have been neglected over the past couple of weeks, and I'm pretty sure Netflix and Hulu and all of those peacocks, they would all love you for that. Go ahead and catch up on that favorite show.
Oh yeah.
All right. And this one's for my ladies. We can treat the NFL like that person you do not want to go on a date with. You can use the golden, age-old excuse of washing your hair. That's right, ladies. You can wash your hair instead of watching the Super Bowl. Okay. A couple more local. These are a couple local favorites. If you're still in mourning, and if you really want to punish yourself even further, you've got Max's Tap House down in Fells is having their Sour Fest. Really? So that's, if you're one of those insane psychos that love sour beers, I have a few friends. They're probably cussing me out right now as we speak. And if you want to do your taste buds a great disservice, go down to Max's in Fells. Check out their Sour Fest. One thing I will say about Max's is I don't care what kind of beer fest it is, they always do it up really big, and it's a good time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love it. When I was in my 20s and my bounce back was, my rebound from a night of drinking was like less than 24 hours or 24 hours, I used to go down to their, October Beer Fest like every year.
Okay.
But now that, I'm well into my 40s and my bounce back time is about 48 hours, I do maybe one or two beer fests a year. Yeah. Okay, so parents, like I said, if you really want to punish yourself and you want to continue to mourn, go take your kids to see Disney on Ice.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they're in town. It'll be all of your favorites, old and new. Old, Mickey and Friends. New, Elsa and Friends. Something for the whole family to enjoy. And a good time for the parents to catch up on some sleep. A little shut-eye if you want to.
Hey, I've known adults that, have taken kids to those shows, but, seem more excited than the kids.
I would probably be one of those adults. No bullshit. That's like a nostalgic throwback event for you, if you will, because back in the day when you were kids, man, you used to beg your freaking parents to take you to see Disney on Ice or anything on ice.
Yeah.
It's just something about that ice skating, man. So I'd probably be one of those. Have you thought of anything? Is there anything you'd like to add to my list? Is my list sufficient?
Well, I think locally too, and you can say this about a lot of places around the globe. But I know a lot of people that are into hiking, and the trails here are always great, and I think the weekend weather should be decent enough for it.
You know what, Mark? God damn it, I'm gonna put that right at the top because you know how much I love hiking.
Oh yeah,
that's like one of my favorite pastimes. That's a very good one.
Julia. Julia does hiking too, and I remember there was one year that she went out on Super Bowl Sunday, and I was just like, "It's Super Bowl Sunday. What the hell are you doing?" But she's not into football, so
yeah,
I was so taken aback so someone could do that on Super Bowl.
It's a good one. That's a good one. Very good one. All right, well, there you have it. If you're protesting, if you're pissed off, you're still pissed off, plenty of things to do other than to watch the Super Bowl. I guess we can go ahead and start talking about the Super Bowl since we brought it up and we can't get around it. Can't avoid it for this show. So we promised you guys easy money picks. I'm going to try not to throw up in my mouth throughout this segment because I'm still very pissed off.
Yeah.
But, all right, man, let's go ahead and do it. So, we've got the Super Bowl going down in Las Vegas, Nevada. There are a lot of Baltimore Ravens fans who made plans to go to Vegas and did not cancel. Mark, my dad's out there, my brother's out there, a couple of my friends are still going. Jimmy and my pops, they arrived, I think about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so probably about, 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Pacific Time, so they are currently out there in Vegas. There is a group of people, there is a following of Ravens fans out there. I had plans, Jane and I were going to go, but we both decided that we were too salty to make that trip. But, there are people out there, and me personally, it would just be extremely difficult for me, especially with, I don't know, man. I feel like KC has just taken over the number one spot of most hated teams for me, from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
And it's, yes. And you know why? Because to me, the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's no competition with us in them anymore.
Yeah.
And there won't be for several freaking years. Same thing goes for the New England Patriots. They are going down. And believe it or not, you think these guys can't get any lower? Wait until next season. That's a bold prediction for you for next season. I am saying it about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have no hope for them. So they're not a concern of mine. But my distaste and just I just cannot stand them. Everything that they represent. I hate Kermit the Frog Mahomes. I hate Otto. He's a freaking dick. I saw what he did, with Justin Tucker and everything. I mean, I just really think that these are not cool individuals, and they have ascended to the number one spot on Major Keish's most hated list. So I could not be out there.
Yeah, I it shocks me that you say even over the Steelers, because that's a bold.
I know that's it. That's Steelers are, if you're from the 410, it's in your blood. It's deeply ingrained.
But I do think in the atmosphere of the NFL in general, that they've taken over that number one hated spot. For fans like nationwide, people love to hate on the Patriots. I hate it on the Patriots. But the Patriots aren't the Patriots anymore, and I definitely think that the Chiefs have arrived in that spot. And it's funny because, I think back to 5-6 years ago doing this show, and we were like all over Mahomes when before he ever got to the playoffs. Like, we were such big fans of his. He was young and no name, and just everything. Yeah. Winning, of course, people do tend to hate on winners when they win a lot.
Yeah.
But those actions against Justin Tucker, I think, turned a lot of Ravens fans in particular.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, because we are in these Facebook groups, I'll get notifications and previews for other groups that aren't ours. And I've seen some Kansas City groups pop up, and they were defending the hell out of that. But that's something every single kicker does, is go down to both end zones and do some practice kicks. And apparently Tucker was out there first. And that might be their designated area, but he's doing nothing that any other kicker doesn't do.
Nothing out of the normal. Out of the normal.
It was mind games. They can throw whatever slant they want on it, but it was mind games.
Yeah. And they just give off they just be giving me jock vibes, jerk jock vibes. And I think a lot of people are reverting back to those high school and college feelings of those those athletes or those jocks that were complete dicks in the lunchroom or on campus, that you're just man, I really want to punch this guy in the face, but I can't because he's so much bigger than me. Well, do you feel me on that though?
And honestly, I was even okay with them after the loss. Because like I said, it was mind games what they did and everything. But Travis Kelce, he said something on his podcast about Justin Tucker, and I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was just Yeah, these guys are just so fucking full of themselves.
Yeah.
Pardon my language, pardon my French.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you just want to punch them in the face.
Yeah. And you know what? And it's almost like, also in, typical of these jerk jocks, of course, you can pick on the little guy. I would have loved to see him try to throw Jadeveon Clowney's helmet or Roquan Smith's helmet.
Oh,
you know that shit would not be happening, dude. That would not happen.
Exactly.
It's just like, so, oh man, it's just, I've never wanted another team to lose a Super Bowl so bad. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Definitely.
But, yeah, so we got this game going on down there in Vegas, or over there in Vegas. It's going to be a big to-do because we all know that Vegas is one of the best and most fun places to go to in the United States. They're going to be pulling out all the stops, all the parties, perfect place to be, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about this game. So we got San Francisco 49ers minus 2.5 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Mark and I have chosen to hold off on all Super Bowl talk until tonight, our picks. So, okay, here we go, Mark. We're in it. What are you looking for with this Super Bowl game?
I just want a good game. I don't want a repeat of that Rams game a few years ago where it was just such a dud.
Yeah.
I want something competitive. And I do think we'll get it. But I just don't want San Francisco's. They've done some come from behinds and some slow starts, and we just can't get that because KC will monopolize on that.
Yeah, yeah. And San Francisco's kind of been struggling on the offense past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Past couple of games. So that is definitely something that we want to keep an eye on. I agree with you.
Yeah. I just want a good game overall. It's Super Bowl. You want to be entertained.
Yeah. And I think we're going to get that. I really do because these teams, I can say that they are, pretty evenly matched. One of the things that I am definitely going to be looking at is Brock Purdy. A lot of people are talking about, Mahomes and Maotto, Kelsey, that hookup.
Yeah.
How that duo is ranking among the best of all time and blah, 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 blah. But, we have talked all season about Brock Purdy. We talked as of late about Brock Purdy possibly being an MVP. To me, Sunday night is Brock Purdy's chance to silence the haters. And when I say the haters, I'm including myself in that. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all.
Okay.
This is his chance to really shine. Right? And I'm just eager to see if he steps up to the plate and just really does the damn thing. I really want him to. I got my fingers crossed, but that's one of the things that I'm looking at, man. It's one of the things that I'm looking at.
A couple years ago when he broke out, one of the things he was praised for was game management. So I think even if he doesn't have like a huge, massive statistical game,
yeah,
if he's able to like keep calm and manage that game, then that will be a win.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, comments. I really want San Fran to win, but KC will win. Swift in the NFL will have the fix in. And, that's a perfect little segue because, we always like to give our easy money picks here. Me personally, I am going, believe it or not, Mark, I'm going back and forth with the decision of putting my money up on this game.
Yeah.
There's a big population, and it's a reasonable assumption to say that this whole thing is a crock of crap. You got all the stats out there, how much money Taylor Swift has generated for the NFL, blah 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 blah, and this whole aspect, this whole pop culture aspect is creating such revenue, that has to be in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
That has to be in the back of your mind. And like I said, I go back and forth. Well, do you really want to throw your money away on this crap? Because honestly, what I really want to tell you guys is to take San Francisco 49ers on the money. I really want. I am saying it. That is my easy money pick. But I do not blame you if you do not agree with me. I do not blame you if you don't want to bet on this game, because you gotta halfway assume that it's not going to be a fair fight, especially after watching that freaking AFC Championship.
Yeah, and for me, like I flip back and forth, and I kind of wonder for myself if it's a like an emotional pick. Not just because the AFC Championship game, but also, obviously my brother. Like, my heart's going to go with San Francisco. But, my head's, like, torn because Kansas City, they're a dominant team at times. And like I said, Kansas City, San Francisco, they've struggled.
Yeah.
And if Kansas City or San Francisco struggles at all, like, I can see Kansas City just stomping.
Yeah.
So I kind of like talk myself in and out of who to pick. So on the money line, I can't even pick a money line winner right now. If I was gonna go with a bet, I think I might go with the total points, which is 47.5 right now.
Yes.
And I think I'd take the over on that. I think it'll be a high scoring game.
Okay, I'm so glad that you had a pick for over-under, because the over-under was the thing that I was, like, really, like, man, I have no idea, me personally.
Okay.
I have no idea. There's a big part of me that, when I go on this little spiel, I'm going to tie in a whole lot of things together. So I'm going to throw a lot of info at you really quickly, all right?
Okay.
There's a big part of me that thinks there will be a more prevalent running game than what we saw in the AFC Championship, right? Okay, because I think the one thing the Ravens did not do against Kansas City was run the ball. And I think that San Francisco will have a better chance to win if they do so. And that means, taking the offense through Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Okay, so, and in saying this, okay, let's go ahead and throw some props out there, you guys. All right, so let's take some notes. I like Christian McCaffrey, anytime TD scorer.
Yes.
All right, that's one. I am counting on this run game. I'm counting on it. So I'm also going with Christian McCaffrey over 70 yards.
Okay.
I think right now they got him at, like, I want to say maybe 89, 88, 89, something. It's in the high 80s. But, I like to go with the short shot, so go ahead and shave a couple of yards off. Let's take over 70 yards for CMC. Okay? I also think that in order for San Francisco to win, Nick Bosa is going to have a big game and make it tough for Mahomes.
Okay.
I think he's going to be successful in doing so. And in doing so, I believe, let me just see if I can make sure. In doing so, stifling the passing game.
Oh, your phone's all messed up.
I am looking for the under on the passing yards for Patrick Mahomes, which is, all right, bear with me, you guys.
262.5.
I'm sorry?
262.5.
Yep, okay, thank you so much, big homie. I am looking for the under on that, and guess what else? Guess what else I'm looking for the under on? I'm looking for the under on Travis Kelce of 72.5.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. I am expecting Nick Bosa and this pass rush to do the business. When these guys played each other before, Nick Bosa had one sack. There are a lot of people out there that are saying that he's going to get two. on Sunday. And, we have seen throughout this whole season, I think one of the biggest takeaways that we have seen with this NFL season is that you can piss Patrick Mahomes off. Okay? You can piss Patrick Mahomes off. All right? Let's get a couple of drops. Let's get a couple of sacks. He'll turn into Tom Brady in no time. Pissed off, I mean, honestly, I think that's a pretty good take.
Throwing his arms up and looking at the ref.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, he's Tom Brady's out. Let's just insert Patrick Mahomes with that bullshit. So, those are my little picks.
Okay. I dig it.
Right there. How you feeling about that?
I definitely feel you on the Mahomes.
Okay.
Kelsey, I'm one way or the other because we all know he's Mahomes' favorite target.
Yeah.
But we have seen some games where it's just not working, and so Kelsey might get 2 catches for 12 yards.
Yeah.
Or he'll get 137 yards. It's one way or the other with Kelsey. And he's not going to give up on that connection. Yeah. I feel good on those. Nick Bosa, yeah.
Yeah. And let me just do one more honorable mention.
Okay.
I'm looking for a big game from George Kittle.
Okay.
Can we get a little Kittle time? We got receiving props. He's currently at 49.5. Let's take that down to a good 40. He should be able to get at least 40 yards receiving on a Super Bowl game.
Yeah, I'd say that's
I'm liking that.
Yeah.
So I think between the two of us, Mark and I have given you about five or six easy money picks.
Okay.
And I think those are solid. If you want to play this game, again, if you do not want to play this game, I do not blame you. That's probably the smarter decision. The smartest decision of them all. So,
buy yourself a coffee with that money.
Hell yeah. Do we have any other comments on here? I'll watch Usher in the halftime show. Okay, we might as well talk about that. So we got Usher on the halftime show. A lot of, they're just catering to all of the young ladies in America. We got Taylor Swift every 5 minutes on the screen, and then they're gonna give you a nice heavy dose of the professional man candy Usher performing at the halftime. He's got some pretty big shoes to fill because Rihanna, I thought she did a hell of a job last year. She kind of she broke the internet, broke the Super Bowl, coming out there pregnant. Everybody was like, "What the hell's going on? I don't understand." And she had the suspended stages in midair and everything. It's just a pretty big act to follow, right?
Was that last year?
Wasn't it last year? It was last year.
Yeah.
It was.
Big act to follow, for sure.
Yeah, it was last year. In honor of Usher performing in the halftime, Mark and I thought we would give, Usher a heads up on which songs to perform at halftime.
Okay.
All right. Mark, we'll just alternate. I'll let you go first.
So we're each given 3 songs that we think that Usher will perform, and I think this is top of both of our lists. I'd be shocked if not.
Right.
But,
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
You already. Come on, man. Hell yeah. Go ahead, Mark. Yes.
And we know that the Super Bowl, they although last year wasn't big on it, but they do like having their cameos during the Super Bowl halftime show, and that's like a perfect song to bring out Little John Ludacris with. So
right.
That's gonna be the big song, I think.
Bring Little John out there. He ain't doing nothing right now, and Ludacris is probably tired of doing those State Farm commercials. Let's do it. Of course, number one on both of our lists. That's very easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and since we both have the same one, for the first one, the second one is I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna throw it all the way back to the '90s. One of his first songs, "You Make Me Wanna." Come on, you got to do that when you make me wanna lead the one I'm with. Wasn't that like one of his first songs?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do it for the old heads out there, for the 40 and over group, for folks like me and Mark. Take it back to the '90s. You know, it was like one of the golden ages of music, for rapping and R&B. "You Make Me Wanna," one of the OG Usher hits. I'd like to see that. What you got next on your list, Mark?
My number 2, and I'd be shocked if this was your number 3 then, but and I might go with an honorable mention at the end of this, but
Okay.
my number 2, I got "Love in the Club."
Oh, it is not on my list, but you know what? It's not. You know what? That's a good one, and that would have to be my honorable mention too.
Okay.
That would have to be my honorable mention too. I don't know. It's like in my age, I don't know what it is, but I am just kind of falling out of love with Usher's slower songs. So I kind of kept my list to more upbeat, and I like to see. I mean, he's a dancer, he's a performer. But yeah, that's a good one, and I will definitely put that on the honorable mention because that was a banger in the early 2000s.
That's the
that
funny
was
thing
definitely
too,
a banger.
I tried to keep it to like upbeat stuff because that's like Super Bowl halftime stuff.
Yeah.
But it was such a big hit, and with the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
like, they didn't sing the whole song. It's usually like about a minute of it, so I think they can squeeze it enough out.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? You're in Vegas. You know, everybody will be feeling good. You know, libations will be flowing. Go ahead and throw a little baby making music in there. You know, sure. I'm with it. Okay, third song on my list was "You Don't Have to Call," which is another good one, another cool dancing video, upbeat, and you know what? You're right on the heels of Valentine's Day. Go ahead and throw that up there. You know, for all the single people out there, you don't have to call. That's my number 3. What else you got, Mark?
My number 3 is and actually, like, I'm not like the biggest fan of the song necessarily, but I think it's a decent song. Is "Superstar." It keeps up with that.
Yeah. I went back and forth with putting that one on there. Okay, I'm glad you said that. I went back and forth with that one.
It keeps up with that that tempo.
Yes, absolutely. So there you have it.
My honorable mention was "Standing Next to You," the remix with Young Kook.
Standing Next to You.
Because it is an upbeat thing, but it's more of like an Usher remix, not one of his songs necessarily.
Okay, am I going to be able to get you to sing that for me? Because
no. But if you go to, because I'm one of those outliers that doesn't use like Spotify, but if you go to YouTube Music, it's like in the top 10 Usher songs.
Oh man, we got some wild suggestions. I mean, looks like they trying to have a baby making session on the feed here. We got "Nice and Slow." Okay. We got "You Remind Me," which is another one of his early hits, and "Good Kisser." I'm not familiar with that song either. I wish we had someone. I wish Jana was here because she'd probably sing those songs for us. But Mark and I will not torture you with our Usher renditions this evening. But
I'm glad that you mentioned Jana because I just want to say real quick that I did reach out to Jana for her official Super Bowl pick. I'll try to get one by Saturday to post.
Okay.
But her response was, "I hope they both lose."
Woo! That's what everybody is. Like I think about half or a good 60% of America wish the whole damn thing implodes. And I've said that before. I feel like I've been saying that for like the past 2-3 Super Bowls. I want everybody to freaking lose.
Just do it after the halftime show so we get Usher.
Yeah, man, yeah. Yeah, so I think that'll just about do it for our Super Bowl discussion. I think we've put that one to bed. Let's keep it moving on the menu. We were talking about football. I did mention earlier in the show that the NFL Honors air tonight is starting in about 20 minutes, actually, hosted by Keegan Michael Key. We love him, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
The Ravens are heavily represented in this year's awards shows with hella nominations. Lamar Jackson, MVP of the year. We've talked about that. Also nominated for Offensive Player of the Year. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go kind of like category by category, and we can just talk about that.
Okay.
First things first. Do you think Lamar Jackson is out of the MVP race?
Absolutely not, because it's based on the regular season. Playoffs don't count, and I'm not sure when they cast their votes, but I do believe it was before the playoffs, so Lamar's definitely got it in the bag.
Okay. I agree with you, and keeping my fingers crossed. If they say anything other than Lamar Jackson, I might not watch sports programming for another week and a half. I am very nervous about this. If not MVP, definitely got to be Offensive Player of the Year, right? I mean, to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, gosh, I mean his quarterback numbers were so impressive. It's just hard to deny that man. Of either one, if not both.
Yeah.
All right, moving on really quickly. We're going to get through this really quickly. John Harbaugh, Coach of the Year. I think he's definitely good in the runnings for that.
Does it say who he's up against?
Shit, man.
Don't worry if you can't find it.
Yeah, I really didn't. I really didn't look at that. Outside of that, I know that Dan Campbell's up in there.
Okay.
Right. Which is another another good, I think, a good nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only other name that I can really.
He might be the winner too.
Yeah. I mean, if not, to me, if not, Coach Harbaugh, who, I mean, you know, they've had a great season. It really should be Dan Campbell. He really did. He did his job, man.
Yeah.
You know, and really turned around a squad that has just been fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, like, I mean, this season will go down as one of the best in Detroit Lions history. All right. Actually, I do have the list. D'Amico Ryans, which I would not be opposed to as well. They did absolutely fantastic. They defied all the odds. They overachieved. And the last two, I'm not saying that they did a good job, but I think the first three are more deserving. These last two, Kyle Shanahan, yes, we know. Kevin Stefanski, okay, fine. You know.
The professor has the Texans head coach winning, D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah. I think, if not Harbaugh, it's got to be Campbell or D'Amico.
Yeah, and he might have the strongest case, actually, now that I think about it, D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah.
The Lions were expected to do well based off of last season, and the Texans were not, so.
Yeah. Okay, so we are also represented in the Assistant Coaches of the Year. We have two coordinators nominated. We've got Mike McDonald and Todd Monken. Me personally, I think it should go to Mike McDonald because our defense, is just so impressive. I'm not going to go. I mean, I've said so much over the past month and a half about our defense. I'm not even going to repeat myself.
Yeah.
I mean, they just seriously kicked ass this season.
Oh, yeah.
And I really think that it should go to him.
Definitely. And I think Monken makes a strong argument for offensive. They beat, 10 teams with winning records, first time in NFL history.
Yeah.
So many teams scored over 30 points in so many games, beat so many teams by 14 or more.
Yes.
Both coordinators making strong arguments for winning those awards.
Yeah. So hopefully the Ravens will come home since they didn't get the ultimate hardware. Maybe they will come home with some consolation prizes with some NFL honors hardware.
Yeah.
Tonight. So fingers crossed for the home team. We're pulling for you guys.
Definitely.
Last week I said I wanted to talk a little bit about women's college basketball. I am going to do that right now in a few minutes that we do have left. Mark, we've been, following women's college basketball. We're on the heels of March Madness, which will be going down in less than a month. Man, there's been a lot of basketball being played. Right now, the best team in the league and current at the top of the polls is South Carolina.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, right? I mean, Coach Dawn Staley is on her way to becoming one of the greatest coaches in women's sports.
Yep.
I mean, she is literally kicking ass. This college team does not lose. And you know what? And Mark, I want you to make a note of this because I really want to do this because this is a good discussion going into March Madness and brackets and everything like that. In her first, I guess, time period as coach, I would like to compare her numbers with Gino's.
Okay.
I think we might actually be a little surprised because her team right now is currently 21-0. Being undefeated is not anything new for this organization, for this school, for this team.
Yeah.
They don't lose, dude.
They're quickly on their way to being 22-0. They're up.
Yeah, because there's no way Missouri's beating them tonight. I'm pretty sure the game has started. I don't need to look at the score. I already know.
Oh yeah.
There's no way.
It's 48-21 at halftime.
Holy shit! Yeah, absolutely. So they're number one, rightfully so. I have spoken earlier in the season that last year's champs LSU will run it back. I am still feeling pretty good about that, Mark. I'm still feeling pretty good.
I'm hoping.
You said what?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, I know. We got some future stuff riding on that. But hear me out here, bro. I mean, they have fallen to number 13, right? But they have 4 losses.
Yeah.
And 3 of those losses have been in the conference, which is contributing to their current ranking at number 13.
Yeah.
All right. But I think that they're a lot better than their ranking shows. Okay? And one of the reasons why is their offense is insane. It's insane. They're like, who can I say? The Golden State Warriors when Golden State was in their prime.
Okay.
Of the NCAA women's basketball. Okay. D1. And, I say this is because they score over 100 points more than just about anybody. Okay? I'm going to throw some numbers out there for you. Okay? All right. Number 1 team, South Carolina. How many times have they gone over 100 points? 5 times.
Okay.
All right. Iowa, number 2 team. How many times have they gone over 100 points? 7 times. Okay? And that's to be expected. Caitlin Clark is like a 3-point frickin' McCurry machine. Okay? I get that. Number 3 team, NC State. How many times over 100? 0.
Ooh.
0.
100 is a hard marker.
Yes, that's why I'm using this as like a benchmark, as a measure of awesomeness, because it is extremely difficult to do at this level.
Yeah.
Extremely difficult. So there's only one team that has matched LSU in that category, because LSU has gone over 100 0.7 times, and that's Iowa.
Wow.
And a lot of people will say, especially due to last season's drama, that it might come down to these two teams. Who knows?
Okay.
But we can't be disrespectful to South Carolina and count them out.
Yeah. I mean, and they've been there.
Yes. Been there, done that. Yes.
They look like a dynasty there. They did have a couple rocky seasons, but they're back at the top. So yeah, never discount them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as things heat up, I feel like these next couple of weeks are going to be really interesting, entertaining. There'll be as always, some shake up in the ranking, lots of shifting going down. There are several games going down in women's college basketball tonight. I just mentioned, we just said South Carolina and Missouri. That's not much of a contest. We also have Penn State taking on Iowa, number 2 Iowa. That won't be much of a contest. But I will say an intriguing game for me tonight will be the ACC matchup between number 3 NC State and number 16 Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
That is an upset alert, you guys. If you want to, easy money that joint and put some money on Virginia Tech on the spread, I would not blame you. I think that's actually decent because they might actually be on upset alert tonight.
Yeah. There's a top 25 upset alert already at the half. Is 14 Indiana down by 10 to Michigan State.
Yeah, and that's also interconference.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Let me see, take a look. Anything else that jumps out at me? Yeah, the rest of the night looks like it's going to be some ass busting going down. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot to look at. With that, and we are really excited. We're gonna do our JABO bracket challenge thing again. I think we should.
Yeah,
that's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah,
add some more fun to the game. Hopefully, Harry won't win it again. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that, you guys. Is there anything that you wanted to add to tonight's show? Because I think I checked off everything on the menu.
Just obviously, Vegas is the epicenter of the sports world right now.
Yeah.
And leave it to WWE to take advantage of that. They actually, right as we went on the air, they went on the air on Peacock with a WrestleMania kickoff press conference right there in Vegas. So I'm sure they got some crowds from the people there in town for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they're having some controversy themselves, not just what's in the news, because that's ridiculous in its own, but Cody Rhodes, he went to WrestleMania last year, lost to Roman Reigns. He wins the Royal Rumble this year, and it looks like it's going to be a rematch. And for some reason, he doesn't seem to choose Roman Reigns, and he sets up for The Rock to face Roman Reigns, which is stupid.
The Rock, like
the Rock, turning 51 years old in May.
What in the hell?
Well,
okay.
So it's been a rumored match for a long time because they're both of the Anoa'i family in wrestling.
Yeah.
And
what?
It probably should have happened 4 or 5 years ago, but it didn't. And yeah, it looks like it's going to happen now. And the fans are really pissed at it. Ever since it went down on SmackDown a little over a week ago.
Oh Lord.
There's a trend on Twitter, hashtag We Want Cody. And you gotta kind of wonder if they're gonna pivot and maybe change it back to Cody versus Roman. So
yeah,
I'm sure the announcement's been made by now. I'll run it back on Peacock and see what happened. But yeah, WrestleMania season is always fun.
Yeah. Okay. Really quickly before we sign off, a couple of things that I'm hating on. First thing, since we're talking about Vegas, I am hating on the Las Vegas mayor in regards to Major League Baseball. We all know that the Oakland A's are set to come to Vegas in the near future, but it has recently been reported that the mayor says that the plans for the new baseball stadium do not make sense and that they should stay in the Bay Area. Dude,
What?
WTF. Yes. Yes. And, I feel so sorry for Oakland A's fans because the last 5 years have just been a complete shit show as far as, news and rumors and all this crap. They deserve so much better. Okay,
Wow.
Second thing that I'm hating on. Oh, gosh, the Bucks just love to shoot themselves in the foot. They have recently brought Pat Beverly to the Bucks.
I saw
What?
that.
The F again. Another horrible decision. Who is making these decisions? This GM? I am not a fan. What the fuck? Let's see. Keeping it basketball. Doc Rivers to coach the All-Star game. Again. WTF. The guy has coached, 8 games? What in the... I don't get this at all. It's complete BS. He has said that he will give the All-Star gems, rings, or trinkets, whatever that he receives, and along with the monetary award to the former coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Rightfully so. Good move, classy move on Doc Rivers' part, but to have him coaching the All-Star game is just, to me, like, come on. There's 30 some other coaches you could have picked, dog.
Yeah.
Come on. That is just a really bad look for the NBA and All-Star game. Okay. One last thing that I am hating on, and I am only hating on it because of the way that it dropped. I am hating on the 410's media outlets.
Really?
Yeah, right before the show, it's been reported that Zay Flowers is being investigated for some domestic violence.
What?
Yes, and the reason why I'm hating on that, let's not put that out there until we have some concrete evidence or some concrete, facts.
Oh.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but if there's a police report, it's public record, it'll get out. So
Yeah.
they might as well report on it. But
Yeah.
that's not what he needed right now.
Not what we needed. Not at all. Okay, I think that's just about it, you guys. Thank you so much for coming in, tuning in, sitting in and talking with us, conversing with us online. The show, you know how we end this. Joint Baltimore. Spread love, yo. We are still in the age of keeping clean, so as we always like to say, wash your hands, wash that ass. I am Keisha. On the other end of the line is my favorite slice of pizza, Mark, and we are just a bit outside. You guys have a great weekend. Peace, peace.